What's good? It is June 18th. It is currently 9:11 p.m. Just got off of work. It was a pretty solid day at work. I'm a little bit tired, but overall, it was a great day, so I really cannot complain. We're going to get right into it. Today's topic is how to get over a breakup. I don't really make much relationship videos or videos that like talk about topics like this, to be honest with you. But I had a friend of mine hit me up today. She's going through a hard time as she just broke up with her mans, and she actually texted me asking me um, what I do to get over a breakup. And she actually liked the advice that I gave her. I mean, I didn't really give her advice. I just told her what I do. But she thanked me for the advice, and she said she's going to take it. So because of that, I figured, hey, why not just like make a video about it? So what I do to get over a breakup and what I think works well. And I'll tell you what I told her. I ain't gonna necessarily read the text verbatim, but pretty much how I do it is I start to devote a lot of my time into work or positive hobbies. And the reason why I do that is the first thing I need to do is I gotta find a way to stop thinking about Shorty. Cause I know after a breakup, and I've had a couple breakups, and the first thing that happens to me is almost like it's hard to get Shorty out of my mind. Like I think about her all the time. I start reminiscing about the good times, because of course you reminisce about the good times. It's like, even though there were bad times, there were times where we argued, and there were times where certain traits came out about her that I didn't like, and there were times where I was just pissed. But when you break up, it's almost like you don't really remember the bad times. You only remember the good times and the fun times that you had. So I got to get all that out my system. I got to get all that out of my head. So I do things that are gonna preoccupy my mind. And a lot of people turn to drugs and alcohol and other stuff, but I don't mean negatively, I mean positively. So I pick up more hours and I devote more time to work, and I go to the gym. I already go to the gym pretty consistently, but I start to take my fitness significantly more serious whenever I go through a breakup. And what that means is I don't really count calories right now. I'm pretty much at maintenance. I pretty much eat the same things, but I lock in. So it's like, all right, we're counting calories now. I'm now either going to try to gain weight or I'm going to try to cut. Like I now lock in on a specific goal and devote as much time into the gym as I can. Of course, rest is important, but that's a whole different type of conversation. And I devote myself into different type of hobbies. You know, um, I think it depends on where my life is at. But like right now, if God, I mean, right now, I mean, I ain't really seeing nobody. But if I was to break up with a girl right now, I would probably devote so much more time to the guitar. Like I would probably attack the guitar with a certain type of ferocity, because I need to find a way to get Shorty off my mind. I gotta do things to get Shorty off my mind. And another thing I do is I actually hang out with people. I noticed throughout the breakups that I had, um, I started to hang out with my friends even more. I started to make more of an effort to hang out with them because I needed somebody positive to be around, and I needed some type of way to get her out of my mind. And when I'm sitting with the Brodies and I'm laughing with the Brodies, I ain't thinking about her. When my best friend is over here making stupid jokes about random things, and I'm just dying laughing, like I'm not thinking about her at all. So those are the big thing is you got to find something that gets your mind off of that person. Whoever it is, whoever you broke up with, you got to find a way to stop thinking about them. I think that's huge because the more that you think about them, they just going to live rent free in your head, and it's going to be hard for you to get things done, you know? There have been times where I go through a breakup and I notice when I did sit and think about her, I just didn't do nothing, you know? And she crept into my mind most when I didn't do anything. But now once she's in my mind and I'm sitting there hurting and I'm reminiscing about all the old days, I don't really want to do nothing else. I'm almost depressed to a certain extent. Um, so that's first thing. You got to do something to get that person out of your mind. Devote time into work or devote time into positive hobbies. You got to do something like that. Also, number two, start hanging out with your friends. Don't just go through it by yourself, but actually hang out with people who love you and really want to be around you. that's going to be huge because they're going to do things that are going to help you take your mind off of shorty. Now, you can vent and open up to somebody about it, of course, but just being around some of your friends, and at least for me, we all like to have fun and tell jokes. So I know that even if we talk about her, it's not going to be for the whole time, and they're going to tell me jokes and make me laugh, and I'm going to forget about her, and that's really what has worked for me. So those were the two things that I told her. Another thing I said was I pray a decent amount whenever. I mean, I pray a lot now. Regardless, I try to have a good relationship with the Lord. Obviously, I'm not the best, but I really do try to talk to Him um, throughout the day. I pray and I ask the Lord for guidance and I ask the Lord for help. And there is a verse in the Bible that says the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. The Lord is close to those who are grieving and who are hurting. So I've really tried my best to lean on the Lord. I try to ask Him certain questions. I try to ask Him to open my eyes to certain things. And I really lean on Him and try my best to lean on Him. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but I really do try to talk to Him. And I noticed, crazy enough, through maybe not every breakup I had, but definitely the last two breakups I did have, I've actually gotten closer with Him, you know. And I felt like my relationship got closer with Him. Because in those moments, I really needed Him. I mean, I was hurt over the last two breakups. I was hurt, man. And I really needed the Lord, and I feel like He was there for me 100%, and He helped me get through it 100%. And I do believe that the Lord is with the brokenhearted, but you also got to seek Him out. You also got to talk to Him. You got to pray to Him and ask Him for the help. You have not because you ask not. Knocking you shall knocking the door shall be open. Asking you shall receive. So work on your relationship with God. Use this time to really lean on Him. So that's another thing that I definitely think is very, very important. That what I use to help me with a breakup. Another thing I do, and I don't know if this helps me necessarily get over the breakup, but I do think it's very important in terms of character growth and personal development. Is I like to analyze my relationships. I like to see what went wrong. See what really happened. Try to take a step back now that I'm out of it. Really try to analyze it and see what went wrong. See what she went wrong, but also what I did wrong. And I think a part of me analyzing it is also analyzing myself and self-reflecting and understanding, okay, even if she's in the wrong, even if the relationship ended because of what she did, I know I did something that messed something up. I know I wasn't perfect. And I know that I did something that probably caused her to do something that I ended up didn't like or ended up leading into the end of the relationship. So I think self-reflection is huge and looking back on how can you get better? What did you do wrong? Because you were not perfect. You were not of fault. You were not free from fault. You did something wrong. What did you do wrong? And sit there and be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself because you know the truth. What did you do wrong? And how can you fix it? How can you be better? Come to your next relationship. How can you be better in that next relationship? Even if your flaws might be not even based off of her, your flaws could honestly just be something that you do with everybody, and maybe that needs to change. But regardless, take the time to reflect and to look back. So I do a lot of that with each relationship. I spent a lot of time reflecting on what did I do wrong. Yes, this is what she did wrong, but what did I do wrong? And going into my next relationship, how do I make sure that this doesn't happen? What do I need to do now on a day-to-day in order to make sure that come this next relationship, I ain't finna do the same thing. I'm not going to bring this bad habit into the next relationship and possibly be the reason that this one ends too. So I think that's huge. You have to self-reflect. You have to look back, you know? And another thing I did is I really just tried to get better. A part of just picking up positive hobbies, I just noticed I really tried my best to get better. Every time I ended up breaking up with a girl, I tried to do better. I remember my first major heartbreak, that's when I found Jordan Peterson. And Jordan Peterson taught me so much about, yes, being a man, but also just how I feel like I should be carrying myself and how I can be better and understanding other people and reading other people and trying to be a better person and just building my character. And I feel like I learned so much from watching Jordan Peterson. And that's one thing that I really took apart. I just started doing research on how I can be better. How can I be better? How can I be better? And I looked up different ways to be better. And some of that came from looking at people like Jordan Peterson or somebody who was doing well that I feel like I look up to. And then another part of that is just working on my relationship with God and learning more about God and learning more about Jesus and the Word of God and trying to get better in terms of that. So you got to find some type of way to grow and become better. Don't blame whoever else did it. But find a way to, you personally, how can I become better? And if that's seeking out role models, whether that's in person or online, do that. If that's reading books, do that. If that's just working on your character or who you are as a person, then do that. But there are definitely ways, whether it's working on your relationship with God, do that. But you got to find a way to get better. You got to find a way to grow. And also me pouring my time into personal growth and doing that also was another way I was keeping my mind off of Shorty. Because now I'm focused on how I can get better. So I'm not thinking about her, but I'm thinking on how can I get better for one, my future relationships, for myself, and for my family, for my friends. How can I be a better person, you know? And I think also, too, the biggest thing about getting over a relationship is time. Time heals so much. No matter what, you going to be hurt. And even when I devoted a lot of time into positive things, there's still times where Shorty going to slip in my head. There's still going to be times where I'm not working, when I'm about to lay down and I'm done with my work and I'm laying down in my bed and all of a sudden I think about her. So there going to be times where she going to slip in, and it is what it is. But you got to understand, with enough time, you going to forget about her. With enough time, the pain going to go away. You know what? You might not forget about her, because I'm going to keep it a buck. I never forgotten about my exes, you know. And even now to this day, they still cross my mind. But the pain I used to feel, they ain't the same. I don't have the same feelings I had for them that I did back then when we were together. When we did break up, I don't have the same pain that I felt when we first broke up compared to now. Now I feel no pain, you know. And honestly, I wish them all the best. And obviously, I highly doubt any of my exes are ever going to come across this video. But if y'all do, I wish y'all the best. You know, I have nothing but love for y'all. I appreciate what y'all did for me. And I know I definitely did some good things for y'all. Y'all did some messed up things to me, and I did some messed up things to you. You know, it's honestly just the truth. But I have nothing but love for them. But I don't think I would feel this way in the beginning when I first broke up with them. I think that just came with time. That came with just time. And over time, you heal. It's like a wound. Over time, it just gets better. And you could put Neosporin on it. You could wash it out with alcohol, this, that. You break an ankle, you could rest it. You could lift your foot up. But over time, the only thing that's really going to take care of that wound is time. I didn't do a great way of, I don't think I did a great way of explaining that. But y'all get the point. Time heals everything. And it's just going to take time. So don't even rush it. You can't rush it. And each heartbreak is going to take a different time, you know? Like, my first time I broke up with a girl, but ain't take that long. I mean, I was sad for a little bit, but I got over it pretty soon. You know, the first girl I had didn't really hurt that much. It was like, it sucked for a little bit. Don't get me wrong, because I was like, damn, did kind of lose a girl. But but then the second girl I had, that one, oh man, destroyed me. Destroyed me. The dog was hurt. In his Birkin, in his bag. You know what I'm saying? I was hurt. But in that time, that heartbreak took longer than the first one. But I'm at a point now where it's cool. It's no big deal, you know? So I think that's just how it is. You just got to give it time. No matter what you do, no matter how much time you devote into hobbies, no matter how much time you devote into personal growth, it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. So that's how I deal with a breakup. And my friend, she found this information to be useful as I was texting her today. So maybe somebody out there might find this information to be useful. But I'm going to get up out of here because I'm tired and I want to go home. And I got to be here again for another 12-hour shift in the morning. I'm very blessed to have this job, and I'm blessed to be working, so I really cannot complain. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for taking the time out today to hear me talk, hear me rant. Brody, I love you. Keep your head up. Keep on pushing, bro. Don't ever stop. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.